Walking with Dinosaurs is something that I've remembered fondly from my childhood. Growing up, I've seen many dinosaur-related movies, shows, and documentaries, but Walking with Dinosaurs was one of the ones that really left quite the mark for me in my childhood. And because of that, I have it to thank for what some would call an unhealthy obsession with dinosaurs. I mean, I have no idea what they're fucking talking about, but whatever, I guess. But with how influential this topic is for me, it's surprisingly scarce here on the channel. It's almost criminal that I've never even so much as covered anything relating to Walking with Dinosaurs, even during its 20th year anniversary. Yes, I know, leave your dislike and leave. Trust me, there were many plans to do a Walking with Dinosaurs video here on the channel, but for reasons of my own, I never really got around to it. Until now, of course. Because I recently stumbled upon something rather interesting in regards to Walking with Dinosaurs that I'm sure many of you have already heard of. But in case you haven't, or forgot like myself, today's topic is going to revolve around the Trilogy of Life. Now before I get into this, I would like to provide a bit of context for anyone who hasn't seen Walking with Dinosaurs and hopefully show you why this is a big deal and why I find this specific topic fascinating and why you're a terrible person for not knowing about it. But I figured this would be a bit to cover, and seeing how school for me has started by the time I've recorded this, it's going to be tough trying to go through all of this myself. Luckily I found this creature here from the far fantasy land known as Canada, who also seems to have an obsession for dinosaurs as well, to divvy up this work with. So a huge thanks to my friend Super Pish for helping me out with this video. Pish, take it away.
Hey, thanks for having me on, dude. It's actually nice to be here when we're not watching Age of Dinosaurs. So Walking with Dinosaurs is a 6-episode miniseries in the form of an anthology, with each episode being focused on different stories with different dinosaurs and their given conflicts. Within the 6 episodes, the series explores the different time periods all within the Mesozoic era in the chronological order, with the first episode taking place in the Triassic period and the final episode taking place in the Late Cretaceous period. The show was created by Tim Haynes, who would go on to have quite a history with dinosaur-related shows, because from here he would go on to direct and produce more for the Walking With series, along with helping with the production of both of the Primeval series. And of course, he was part of a bunch of other projects, but no one really cares about those. Walking with Dinosaurs first aired back in 1999, and since then people have praised it for its serious take on the dinosaurs, amazing narration done by Kenneth Branagh, and of course its choice in using the Jurassic Park method of blending both CGI and practical effects together, even though it looks a bit dated by today's standards. To put it simply, Walking with Dinosaurs was considered revolutionary in regards to dinosaur documentaries as a whole. They had set a bar so high in terms of quality, depiction, and commentary, and even with its flaws, some still give it the title as the best dinosaur documentary ever created. By the way, I totally agree with that statement, fight me. And it did great in terms of numbers as well, as the first episode brought in almost 19 million viewers, and from there, the viewership wouldn't go down past 15 million. So with this popularity that Walking with Dinosaurs had gained, it was only natural that a sequel would eventually be produced. This series is known as Walking with Prehistoric Beasts, and it focuses on the prehistoric animals of the Cenozoic era. The series structure is similar to that of Walking with Dinosaurs, as it's set up as an anthology with each episode centered around a different time period and animals. And while it didn't do nearly as good as Walking with Dinosaurs, attracting in around 8.5 million viewers.
Hey, hi, how's it going, guys? Just a quick correction here. I have no idea where the fuck I got 8.5 from. Probably confused it with my IQ or something, I don't really know. But yeah, apparently the viewership for the first episode of Walking with Beasts reached up to like 14 million in the UK, so yeah, I was kind of off just by a little bit. And viewership didn't go down past almost 6 million. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, sorry for being incorrect. You know, I'm a fucking horrible person. Continue with the video.
It seems that people still enjoyed it for the most part, and it was successful enough to spawn yet another mini-series, this time being a prequel to Walking with Dinosaurs. This 3-part series was known as Walking with Monsters, also known as Before the Dinosaurs, and you guessed it, it revolved around the time periods leading up to the age of the dinosaurs. The show itself was a nice way of adding on to the series, and it too was generally liked by the public. And it's here where today's topic is centered around. There's nothing that you've probably already haven't seen within the show itself, but it's within its special features that contains much more interesting things.
Now, it's likely you're already aware of the Trilogy of Life, which is the name of the 30-minute behind-the-scenes special within the disc of this series that focuses on the production of all 3 Walking With documentaries. Personally, while I do remember bits and parts of this special from when I was younger, I ended up forgetting a lot of it. It was only when I stumbled upon a Lost Media website when I found something pretty interesting about this special, and that's the fact that it ended up containing the content of a partially released pilot of a now mostly lost episode of Walking With Dinosaurs. And the rough draft of what would eventually be a part of the Walking with Dinosaurs series is actually pretty surreal to see. The first time that any instance of this pilot would be seen was through this special on the Walking with Monsters DVD, which is amazing to hear considering this would be something that you would think would be shown sooner to the people who clearly love this miniseries revolved around these prehistoric animals. But I guess because Walking with Monsters was the 3rd entry of the franchise completing this trilogy and how they had a whole special dedicated to the creation of this series, maybe it was enough for them to finally honor the series by showing its humble beginnings. So, what did this pilot contain? The pilot itself features a very familiar setting, one that we would eventually see in the final cut in the form of the third episode of the series, Cruel Sea. But before it became the third episode that we all know and love, it was the beginnings of an idea for an upcoming dinosaur TV show that featured similar creatures like Eustreptospondylus and Liapleurodon, but also showed some new faces like Scaphognathus and even Cetiosaurus. And really, there's nothing all that special about these couple of minutes that we actually see of these creatures. They don't really do anything different or new from what we've seen in the show. The best thing that can be said about this partially released episode is the idea of the inclusion of other prehistoric animals like Cetiosaurus. But other than that, the dinosaurs and animals featured are just either walking around or eating, which I guess is to be expected when you know the backstory to this last episode. So what was the backstory? Well, it was 1996. The dinosaur craze of the decade was going strong, not only with the release of the Jurassic Park movie in 1993, but with the release of Michael Crichton's sequel novel to the original in 1995, The Lost World, with the movie adaptation planned to release the following year in 1997. It was no surprise that BBC wanted to get in on this action and make a big series based on dinosaurs, but not quite the same as Jurassic Park. So the objective was clear, but it was going to prove to be a hard journey as this project was not going to be cheap or easy. According to Guinness World Record, Walking with Dinosaur holds the record for being the most expensive documentary series per minute, taking over $60,000 per minute to produce, and when you take consideration of the 6 half-an-hour episodes that took 2 years to make, the whole thing came out to around $9.9 million. But even before getting to this point, people knew that this was going to be an expensive project because what Tim Haynes was essentially asking for was a few-hour dinosaur program with Jurassic Park quality CGI. And when he asked Mike Milne about being a part of this project and presenting it using the same methods as Jurassic Park, Mike was like, "Nope," as he thought this would be an impossible task.
I can remember Tim coming to me for the first time and asking whether we could do 2 hours of Jurassic Park quality, computer animated dinosaurs for a television program at television budgets, and I said no. That night when I went home, I was thinking, what if somebody else says yes and they actually succeed, and I will be the person who turned it down? That made me really positive I wanted to do it.
Now that he had assembled the team he needed, the next step was to create a test version of the series. Luckily, the BBC had put up some money for them to start this project, but Haynes was pretty much left on his own from here to go off and shoot the pilot. But after talking with some experts, it was suggested that a great backdrop that looked realistic and looked like a place dinosaurs would roam were the Mediterranean forests and Cyprus. There, he would shoot what was originally supposed to be a 2-minute long short, but ended up being around 6 minutes in total. Eventually, he would send the footage up to Mike where he and his team would animate the dinosaurs in place. And this 6-minute pilot was enough for BBC to be on board with the idea, and from here BBC Worldwide and Discovery would fund the project, giving Haynes and his team enough legroom to do a lot more with the series, and eventually creating the Walking with Dinosaurs that we all know and love today. And that's basically the story behind this rather strange and even obscure piece of Walking with Dinosaurs history, and as far as the lost 6-minute episode goes, it's never been released. The first and only instance of this short that was ever shown to the public appeared on the Trilogy of Life special on the Walking with Monsters DVD, and aside from the couple of minutes worth of footage that we've seen from that, nothing else has ever been shown. And I've looked everywhere, not necessarily to try and find this lost episode, but to see if I could find any more possible information on it, and as you can expect, I came up short. But even though I couldn't find anything on it, it should be noted that certain things from this short were kept from the third episode of the documentary titled Cruel Sea, including the setting and a couple of prehistoric animals. And knowing this makes me think that maybe, just maybe, this early pilot was just a rough idea of what would eventually become Cruel Seas. Maybe Tim Haynes didn't want the episode to go to waste since he did work hard on it despite it only being 6 minutes long. So maybe he took the overall storyline from that pilot and expanded it and modified it to fit the final product. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but I guess we'll never truly know until the full thing is released. I'm sure that BBC and Tim Haynes have that episode locked in a vault somewhere, so maybe if we work together and planned out a GTA 5 styled heist, we can infiltrate the BBC headquarters, steal the episode, and destroy anybody that gets in our way. Hey, how's it going? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. I don't really know how to segue into the rest of the stuff that I want to talk about, so I'm not even going to try. One thing that I did definitely want to talk about was the minor elephant in the room, and that's the community post that I had uploaded maybe a few days ago at this point. I honestly don't even remember. I've lost all track of time. So yeah, you're probably wondering, Diego, why are you such a fucking liar? You said in this post that you were going to probably be gone for a while, and here you are with a video uploaded out of nowhere, literally a few days after after this post. Yes, I get it. I'm a horrible person because I'm inconsistent with my schedule. Anyways, unlike my other projects I'm currently working on, this one was already halfway edited, and I felt obligated to finish it because I did have a helping hand, and I just didn't want to leave anybody hanging. And all my other projects haven't really left their script stages yet, so it's not like I've really started on those, but they are in the works. I do plan on taking a little bit of a break after this, just with some things that's happening in my personal life, and with that, I just don't want to get too into right now just because it's a lot and it doesn't seem appropriate to mention right now, but mainly because this is just something I feel like I need to deal with privately. And I know that if you're going to be a content creator, it's good to have a level of transparency with your audience, but you know, I've never really been good at that. So I'm trying my best here, guys. But on a lighter note, by the time I've uploaded this video, I think I've reached 8,000 subscribers. If I haven't, then whatever, I'm celebrating early, fuck off. And if I have, then thank you guys so much for, you know, getting me to this milestone. That's amazing. It literally baffles my mind that I'm literally 2,000 subscribers away from 10K, and it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So yeah, it's amazing. Thank you guys so much. But before I go, I do also want to give a huge shout out to my friend Super Pish for helping me with this project. Make sure you guys check his channel out or you're fucking dead to me. He posts a lot of gaming stuff, but you know, they're very well edited and they're genuinely funny and I really like them. So yeah, I highly suggest them. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a nice day.